as capitalist austerity killed the people in Grenfell Tower. It's a deliberate war. It's for the sake of profit, private companies taking over the NHS, running down the NHS, so that the Tories' friends can benefit from it, and we're left with an American-style system. Now, the latest news that we've had in the last 2 days is the continued closure of nighttime emergency cover for Hexham, for North Tyneside, for Wansbeck, and all these people now have to go to Cramlington Hospital. This means that more people are going to die on their way to hospital. This means that services are going to be stretched even further. And basically, what they said was last December, the clinical commissioning group said, it's okay, this is only going to be a temporary measure for winter. Well, that was in December. And then in March, they extended it for another 3 months. And now they've extended it for another 3 months. In effect, this is a permanent closure. So what it means is that people from midnight to 8 a.m. across huge swathes of North Tyneside, Northumberland now, you're not going to be covered properly. You're going to have to go all the way to Cramlington. And it's literally going to mean that the Tories are killing people. Now, from Save North Tyneside NHS, we got involved, first of all, on a campaign to save the 3 walk-in centres in North Tyneside: Battle Hill, Chymore and Rake Lane, the General Hospital. And we were told by the clinical commissioning group, don't worry, this is fine, we'll have one super-duper 24-hour cover, where we heard this before, centre, and this will probably end up being at Rake Lane. But now that we know that they were lying, that there is no plan for permanent 24-hour cover, in addition to losing the local services in Battle Hill and Chymore, there won't be 24-hour cover in the district, and people will be desperately trying to get up to Cramlington, and lives will be lost. Now, of course, this is just one part of the general attack on the health service from the Tories. We know that they've got £22 billion worth of cuts coming down the line through their so-called sustainability and transformation programme. And we know that this is just another way of presenting the cuts. Myself and many other health campaigners here want to acknowledge, keep our NHS public and health campaigns together. We work with them. We were all at the meeting at Whitley Bay, where we argued with the CCG, and we were telling them that their cuts were going to be catastrophic, and they were ignoring even the most basic points. They weren't even able to acknowledge that buried in a 100-page document was the cutting of acute hospitals in the North East. They weren't even prepared to acknowledge that, and basically these people are just lackeys for the Tories. The chairman of the clinical commissioning group for North Tyne, a gentleman called John Matthews, put on his LinkedIn profile page that his biggest hero is a certain Richard Branson, the head of Virgin Care, who is basically making massive profits out of social care. And these are the people who we have at local level in charge of our NHS. Tory privateers. It is disgusting. And so when we have a socialist-led government by Jeremy Corbyn, we hope that there will be the private sector kicked completely out of the NHS. We want it to be illegal for Tories to be, Tory MPs to also be on the boards of private health companies. And as for I'm sorry, Tony Blair, but as for these private finance initiatives, those have to be scrapped. We're not paying a penny of compensation to these big multinational companies. We are taking over these nice new hospitals that they built, but at the cost of putting us in debt for decades, we're taking them over back into public ownership. Now the Tories as a brand are toxic. You know, you would think that there should actually be a little skull and crossbones on the voting paper there. You know, like a cigarette packet. Because they are toxic. They're killing the NHS. They are killing social housing. They are killing our children's future. They are leaving our elderly in a desperate situation with social care, leaving millions of people having to themselves look after people because the state isn't there to look after them. We need to change this, but the Tories are only wounded. Theresa May is not out of power yet. I would urge everyone, go down to London next weekend, go down with the People's Assembly bus, Unite are putting on buses, let's have 1 million people there, let's kick the Tories out. But looking forward, when that Corbyn-led government is in power, he will need every support from young people who want radical change, from socialists, from trade unionists. We have to get in and make sure that the MPs that are in that government are not voting for cuts, they're voting to reverse the Tory cuts. We want councils that do not approve the STPs. Why is North Tyneside Council not opposing the STP? Why are councils run by Labour not opposing these STPs, which the Labour Party's policy is to completely reject now? So, I'll just conclude by saying that we need to get involved. It is not just enough to vote for Corbyn, to get a Corbyn-led government in. You need to get involved. Because, as we've seen, capitalism kills, socialism is the answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. NHS is crucial.